All right, let's go. Wake up. Wake up. That's me talking to me. Oh, boy. Huh? All right, let's get the heater going. All right. Morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening, good day. It's 30 it's 34 degrees. It's raining, but it's freezing when it stays on the ground in the trees, but it's raining. Straighten out the hat. It's mush, it's slush. And then tonight it's gonna freeze, and tomorrow driving will be fantastic. Hey JC, Derek, how's everybody going? How we doing? Ah, that was the chair. I got a bit of a sore throat today, so we'll see how this works out. Um, did not sleep all that well, so recap should be good if we don't win. Yeah. Derek says I had snow in the early morning, turned to rain, so the snow is mushy. Yep, that sucks. Metal says Cup final preview for show. Jason, tons of snow here, North Shore, Massachusetts. We were supposed to get a couple of inches, and then it's just been that freezing rain mixed with rain. It's been ugh. JC says the flu is going around like wildfire. Yeah, wildfire. Yeah, I'm all right. It's just, you know what I mean? Like I need 86 and sunny and the beach. That's where I'm at. Where I'm at right now. I want the house to be open. I hate having the house all closed up all winter long. My eyes get all gooky from the heat. And yeah, I need a week of 86 laying on the beach in the Bahamas with a nice breeze and just sleep, man. That's all. Sleeping on the beach. Nothing better than laying on the beach sleeping. That's the best rest you're ever gonna get. Can't do that here though. Not now anyway. That's for sure. Oh, Metal, did they do that again? No. How come I didn't see that? I have like 3 or 4 NHL subscriptions that come to my. I've got the Hockey Writers, I got the Athletic, I got a few more. And no, I did not see that. Metal, send me a link on Flying Fluffy Hockey, and I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do something with that. Yeah, good question. Great White says the Bolts are 3 games back from the Panthers. Do we get even? Do we get even? I don't know, man. I mean, the whole division. I was looking at that earlier, honestly, when I was doing the podcast. I mean, the Red Wings are only 3 games out of first place. I mean, it is what it is, right? The Red Wings have a game in hand, and they are only 3 points out of first place. Anything can happen. Pomo got second in terms of coaches you want to play for. Who got first? Who got first? Yeah, I got to rise to the occasion tonight. I expect us. I kind of thought we were going to beat Washington and beat Ottawa and lose to St. Louis. So now we need to beat St. Louis for sure. John Cooper. Okay, that makes sense. I wonder if the fact that it's both Florida guys has something to do with it, Metal. And if a dude is struggling, he can tell them to just go to the beach and relax. Wonder if that has anything to do with it. You got Vlog says, who do I think will be involved in the trade if we make one? We're doing picks and some AHLer. That's all we got. That's all we got, Vlog. I mean, I suppose that we could move either Rodriguez or Luosterainen, and it wouldn't kill our cup chances if we were going to get like a true solid defenseman that might even be a feasible Ekblad replacement. But past that, we just don't have anything to give. And I don't want to give up guys like Sachin, St. Martin. Maybe I'd be willing to part with Sordif. But we're in a tough spot. We're in a tough spot, man. I think Zito kind of felt like Nate Schmidt would do better. I think Zito felt like Nate Schmidt would almost kind of come in and pull like an OEL type of deal, and that spot wouldn't be a problem. I think that adds an element to things. Like I said, I told you the Cats still have to make it. I mean, I feel confident we're going to make it. I do. But we ain't running away with anything. That's for sure. Colin says, is it nighttime tonight? Honestly, after the other game, I would play. If I'm Maurice, I tell Bob, you're done. You're done until after the break. That's what I would tell Bob. I would play night tonight and Saturday night and tell Bob to go have a smoke and a pancake. Tell him to go home, play with his kids, have the wife give him a massage, have some home-cooked meal, call up Drieger, let Drieger read you back up, and just tell Bob to sleep. It ain't never going to happen. And not that Bob would listen anyway, but that's what I would say. Great White says they've been 3 or 4 games out for about 3 or 4 months. That's hockey, though, right? That's the point system. How many times, Great White, 7 years ago, we're 5 points out. Panthers are 5 points out, right? In January, in February, in March, we get to 2 weeks left. We're still 5 points out. It's just the way the points are divided up. It's hard to come back. Look at Detroit. They won 7 straight. They're in a spot, but just barely. JC says the rumor is that we're looking into Donato. Let's see. We're where? Let's see. No, not. There we go. Where would we put him? Are they going to throw in Connor Murphy for free? I guess you're talking about at 4. He'd be an upgrade. He'd be an upgrade. Are we going to play him at center? Or are we going to play him on the wing? Right? You're going to play him at 4C? Throw in Connor Murphy for free. Metal says 4C for sure. Yeah, that would definitely be an upgrade. What's his contract? Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Great White. He says, what are the chances that we play the Bolts in the playoffs? Honestly, if I had $100, I would make that bet right now. I think the universe demands it. I think after the heck won't stop being crooked. I think after it's all said and done, I would not be shocked if that's the way it goes down. So what's Donato's contract? It can't be that much, right? Ryan Donato contract. I like it when talk to text works. 2 years, so it's $2 million a year. Yeah, man. Let's go. Now, and it expires this year, so there's no term. Hey, Cade, Chopper. Yeah, I'm good with that. I think that would be a good fit. He's on an expiring contract. It's cheap enough. Hell, if we could get them to retain half the salary, that's only $1 million. What are they going to want? Sordiff? I'll give them Sordiff. Thank you, Metal. Thank you, Great White. Yeah, Ryan Donato, Chopper. That would be an upgrade at 4C. That's a hell of an upgrade at 4C. That would be good. We could fit that in. We could do him and still get 2 defensemen, depending on what we got to give up. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Because he's pretty good, right? He's pretty good. So they wouldn't be thinking about needing that extra center depth because we're going to move Bennett, would they? Like, they wouldn't be thinking Barkov, Lundell, Donato, right? Zito wouldn't do that, right? He wouldn't do that, right? The Donato's for the fourth line, right? Right, Bill? Right, Paul? You're not going to get greedy, right? I know you're watching. Bill. Vlog says depends on his contract talk. I know. That's because that Donato is a that's a big upgraded 4C, but probably a viable 3C if you moved Lundell up. I don't like that. I just had that idea. I don't like it at all. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Bad idea. Bad idea. Meadow says, would we rather see Donato or Jake Evans? What's Evans' contract and situation? Let's see. Jake Evans' contract. He's making about the same, 1.7, so he's actually making a little bit less. And it ends basically the same. Yeah. Let's get both. Let's get both. How about both? How about Donato with Evans and Greer? Huh? How about Donato with Evans and Greer? Screw it. Right? I mean, let's just get greedy. We won't need any defense then. Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Great White. Honestly, if we could only have one, whichever is going to come cheapest. Like, do you really want to send one of our prospects to Montreal? I don't care about Chicago. You really want to send Sordiff to Montreal, though? I'm not feeling that. But, yeah, take them both. Sordiff for Donato to Chicago. And we'll give Montreal a third for Evans. JC says the word is teams are aware the Panthers at the deadline. Teams around the league say they anticipate Zito to pull off another surprise. Weary, yeah. Well, aware and weary at the same point, right? Chopper says send Ekblad to Chicago for Donato and Murphy. Sordiff to Montreal for Jake Evans. The only problem with that is we got to replace Ekblad, though. I mean, body-wise, numbers-wise. We can't go into the playoffs with Forsling and Kulikov. Although Kulikov is probably a better skater than Ekblad. Zito says, no interest in Murphy. Yeah, when I saw Chucky box him out the other day, I think it was Chucky when we played them, my interest in him waned. But yeah, Chopper, I wasn't thinking Connor. I didn't see Donato and Murphy. Yeah, I see what you're saying. That replaces Ekblad. JC's look, at the end of the day, I don't care who we move and how we do it. This team, this channel desperately needs Matheson back. Where is he? Where is he? Jason Todd has the Matheson box. The Matheson cereal box that was in the recaps those few years ago. Jason Todd, he's in the chat. He's the one that he bought the Matheson box. Have the mice gotten to it yet, Jason, or is it still intact? Chopper says the D is not looking good. We need something at least. That's what she said. I'll see myself out. No, Meadow, no. Although Tippett would kind of fit. Steven says, Jaws, I agree with your recap the other night. Why does Maurice continue to pull the goalie? We have like one goal all year, and he thinks we can get two in the same game. All it does is pad stats. I hate it. I understand it. I'm sure if you look at the analytics, but how would you know, right? Like, you can't compare apples to apples, or apples to oranges, or apples to kumquats. I don't know. I don't like it. Like, you can know the percentage of times it works, right? But you can't know, and you can know that when you don't pull the goalie, how often it works. But you can't really know the percentage of times that you give up a goal because the empty net, as opposed to you would have got a goal in the last minute just playing hard 5-on-5. Melons to eggplants. I like that, Metal. Chopper says, can we all agree to kidnap Maurice for the last 5 minutes? If we're losing, you'll bring your ninja outfit. I think that's a good idea. I like that idea. I started seeing that clock get under 6 minutes, and I know, like, oh, here we come. Here we go. We're so good when we are dialed in 5-on-5. We've seen them so many times. Score late, 5-on-5, when they're giving all, the full effort. They should just leave it. I says we could have 3 cups by now if we kept pissing. Fashi says I would try to get Stenlin back. All right, so Stenlin, Donato, and Ryan. That's the 4th line. Screw everybody else. How about that? Huh? How about that? Just get all 3 guys. Then we don't need any defensemen. If we do that, then we don't, that's an extra goal a game, and we can keep the defensemen that we have. Chopper says, what about Greer? Greer can be a first guy off the bench. I mean, if we're just talking stupid, Stenlin, Donato, and Ryan. Sprashi says, or Achari. That's another one. I don't mind giving Pittsburgh a prospect because Pittsburgh's not going to be good for a little while. But I'm not so sure about giving Montreal one of our prospects. I don't think they're in good enough shape as it is. I don't feel like helping them out. Chicago, though, right? Now, if Chicago just wanted to throw in Connor Murphy, I mean, he would still be better than Schmidt. Can we agree on that? Do you think at least Murphy would be better than Schmidt on the bottom pair? I think that's reasonable, right? I think that's reasonable. Sordiff in the 3rd for Donato and Murphy. Is that not enough? That's all we got. Like, I don't want to give up Sachin or St. Martin. What else do we have? We only got like 1 or 2 defensemen. I don't want to give those guys up. So far, she says Murphy is way better than Schmidt on the bottom pair. All right, so yeah, Donato and Schmidt, or Donato and Murphy for Sordiff in the 3rd. Is that enough? Or we got to do something else? Well, they got to eat some salary. That's the problem with Murphy, is they got to eat a lot of salary. But we could fit it. If they ate 50% of that salary, we could fit Murphy and Donato in. You're always going to get a better deal if you're dealing with one team at a time. Chopper says, I prefer Evans over Achari. Sure. He's younger. No doubt. Yeah. But Donato wouldn't be bad. I'm not, like I said, giving Montreal one of our, I'm what's the word? Well, tip it, right? Detroit has 61 points. How many? And the Panthers have 67. Detroit is 3 games out of first place. Yes, they are. In fact, I think all of the teams that are up and coming, well, not Ottawa. Never mind. Meadow says Murphy is bigger than Schmidt. He has only 1 goal with 12 assists. Chopper says, I think the perfect trade would really be Ekblad to Chicago for Murphy and Donato, and Sordiff to Montreal for Jake Evans. Can Murphy run a power play, though? can Murphy run the power play? Because if you lose Ekblad, Murphy's or Schmidt is the next guy up on the power play, which means you have to have him on the ice. So if you traded Ekblad for Murphy, you still have Forsling, I assume Murphy, Mikula, Kulikov, Schmidt, Balinskis. That's the problem. That's the only problem with that is you still need, you know what I mean? Derek says, sorry, no takes backs with Tippett. I need a sign of the wall that this channel goes, yeah, mentioning Owen Tippett. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Metal says, to be fair, can Ekblad run the power play? Shavashi says, Balinskis should run the power play. I don't disagree there. I don't disagree there. But the problem is, if you only have Schmidt and Balinskis to run the power play, then that's it. You're running Ekblad, Murphy, Kulikov, Mikula, Balinskis, and Schmidt. I don't think we win the cup with Balinskis and Schmidt on the ice every game in the playoffs. That's the only problem there. Hey, Simon, how you doing, buddy? Simon, earlier I had thought we were going to beat Washington and beat Ottawa and lose to St. Louis, but now I think we should win both of these games. I really feel we're going to win Saturday, and I would assume we're going to win tonight because I don't think they want to go to. We're at home tonight, right? Are we at home? I know we're at home Saturday. No, we're at St. Louis today. We should still beat the Blues, though, right? We should still beat the Blues. Yeah, Metal says, Maurice says our two slowest D-men on each power play. It's the truth. Choppy says, put Barnford on the power play. How many defense? I believe Eyes Mackey is going to be back tonight. Michael says, Balinskis and Schmidt run the power play better from a puck movement eye test. Agree, but Ekblad has better chemistry running the power play by the numbers. Yeah. I like Balinskis there because if he loses the puck at the blue line, he's got the speed to at least stay even with the guy. With Ekblad, he may as well just throw the stick at the dude. He's not catching anybody. Strafashi, they don't want Forsling to be on the power play because look at his minutes already. Forsling has a unique job. Usually when you're the number one defenseman, you don't have to babysit the number two defenseman and do all the skating. But in this case, Forsling does. So they don't want to wear him out. They don't want to wear him out on the power play until we get him a suitable pairing. Which honestly, anybody that can skate better than Ekblad would kind of be a suitable pairing. Eyes, yes, there will definitely be a Super Bowl stream. Yes. Bulwer says, I can't believe the hockey guy jinxed the Golden Knights. What did he say? What did he say? Good question. Chopper says, if Ekblad leaves the team, who do I think gets the second A? I would think it would be Forsling because you're going to want a leader from the defense. I would assume it would be Forsling unless, I wouldn't be against Kulikov, but I kind of would assume it would be Forsling. But it's both good options. Yeah, exactly. I like Michael's idea. Basically, if we could put Balinskis' physical ability into Ekblad's body, we'd be good to go. Yeah, I he's got better aim getting the puck to the net, but Balinskis moves the puck better, right? Yeah. If we tie them together, will they just count as one guy? They'd have to share a pair of skates, though. No, you put Ekblad on Balinskis' back. So Balinskis can do the skating, but then when it's time to take a shot, he turns around and Ekblad takes the shot. Like one of those baby carriers. You just put Ekblad on Balinskis' back. Might slow him up, though, a little bit. Mike, you would think Reinhart would get the second A? Kyle's burning something. He's cooking something. He's burning it. I might have to go check on that in a second. But wouldn't you want one of the defensemen to be one of the assistant? Is that how they normally would do it? At least have somebody from the blue line? Hubie had the other A. All right, good point. Good point. Two-man flip hockey. Yeah. Savashi, I think the United States. Hold on a second. I'll be right back because he'll forget that. Oh shit! He'll forget that he has something, and I definitely smell something burning. Hold on. What the hell? I smell something burning. All right. Yeah, I guess the smell hit from the oven. It's coming through the wall. It's fine. I wanted to make sure. All right. All right. Stream's over. House is on fire. Jeez, it's fine. He cooked pierogies, and I guess he left the oven on a little bit too long. All right, Chopper, hold on. He said Vegas was doing very well and looked unbeatable, and now they're 3-8-3. Keep talking, Shannon. Just don't say anything about the Panthers. Leave them where they are. I don't want them number one. Simon, I think the players are going to play. According to Chucky, he anticipates it being basically as intense as the playoffs, which I'm not happy about. Bolar says my mother found a way to burn soup, so I guess anything is possible. Oh, we traded Ekblad? Cool. Where'd we go? Yeah, I agree with you about Reinhart, Michael. So Simon, apparently we're interested in Ryan Donato from the Blackhawks, maybe Jake Evans from Montreal. I don't know what we're looking at on defense. JC says record with Ekblad has been way better than record without Ekblad. No, we're not going to step off Ekblad. Ekblad is the Ekblad blocked me. He gets what he deserves. He just needs to be on the bottom pair. I mean, let's put it this way, JC. That's like saying the Dolphins' record was better with Tua than without Tua. It's like, well, look at the backup quarterbacks the Dolphins had. I could throw better than half of those dudes. So I understand he's like a glue locker room. I talk about this all in the members podcast today anyway, because I go over a lot of the salary cap stuff. Thank you, Kate. I don't want to forget it. Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly right. He's not worth big money, but move him down in pay cut. Yeah, I 100% agree with you, JC, on that. I say almost exactly that in the members podcast that'll be out a little bit later. Michael says, I don't like players from bottom teams at the trade deadline. I'd rather get them in the offseason. I mean, I understand that, but problem is we need the help. We need the help. You know, and if Zito's looking at Donato or Evans, I would assume that's because he agrees with us about the need for the upgrade at 4C. I would hope it's not the other thing I said about Sam Bennett and moving Lundell up. I would hope that's not it. But if you're going to go after a guy like Donato or Evans, number one, you're going to pay. Number two, you should have intent on re-signing them because you're going to pay. Simon, it's freezing rain here. It's like 34 degrees. It's like freezing rain. It's schmutzy outside. The stuff is half frozen, half melted. Heck, glad there's a strip club in Somalia. Yeah, they can't make a trade. I don't have the riding mower anymore. Michael says, I feel like the D-lines are a more pressing issue than 4C. I think if we don't do both, it doesn't matter. I think you have to find a way to do both. The only thing he's getting better at is the face-offs. We need more juice at it at fourth line. We need somebody that can, we won a couple with Stenlin. We had an advantage on the fourth line most nights. And we just can't lean on the top six as much as we have been. They've been through 2 straight runs. I am not a Nosek fan. Nosek should be Okposo off the bench, in my opinion. If we want to have a legitimate chance, there's some hard young teams. If we got to play the Wings, if we got to play Ottawa, the Capitals, the Devils. I think the opposite is the truth, Michael. I think Greer scored while Nosek was gone when Bosick was the 4C. Let's look. I think Greer started scoring. He did play a little bit on the third line. Look at his game logs. He doesn't have much. He doesn't have many goals anyway. He's got 1, 2. When did Nosek come back? Well, let me look. Greer's he's got 5 goals. When did Nosek come back? That'll tell us. Let's see. Nosek's first game. Let's see. Hold on, get the game logs. Hold on, where is it? There we go. Nosek came back. No, not then. Where is it? November 1st, I guess, is when he came back. So he was only gone for a few weeks. He had that 1 goal when he first came in, and then that was it. And then Greer has, let me see, how many goals? Let me see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's when Greer started getting some goals. Was it all on the fourth line? Do I have a memory of him moving up to the third line? He had 3 quick goals when Nosek came back. And then he's had 1 December 22nd and 1 January 25th. I think he can do a lot better. Yeah, Serfashi says Donato on the fourth line would be great. Said Nosek to the Twilight Zone. Mel says Nosek's faceoffs aren't great, 51%, which is fine, but not enough for a guy we got specifically for faceoffs. Let's put it this way: if we can get Donato for Swordef, we need guys anyway. You know what I mean? We need guys anyway. By the numbers, whether we agree or disagree or not that Nosek is viable at the 4C, we need another guy anyway, because we have nothing. Like, quite literally, there's nobody off the bench. So whether or not we agree on Nosek, we still need another center. That just, last year we could put Okposo or Lorentz off the bench. We got nothing now. So that has to happen. And then Fly Guy, Giles isn't ready, man. He's not ready. Giles had a nice. Michael, I'm not counting Luosterainen because then that we have to have a bench. Right, exactly, Fly. We have to have a bench. We have no bench. And yeah, if you could move Luosterainen down if something happened to Nosek, but that still leaves you only Gadjevich coming into the lineup. And then you'd have to move like Greer up to the. It doesn't work. It's not enough. And Luosterainen's not been great either. Meadow says, how much worse could Dalpe be than Nosek? I mean, Dalpe is an option. But let's put it this way. If Zito's looking at Donato or Ryan, then he agrees that we need more center depth. Well, you see what I'm saying? We gotta have something, you know. But in terms of forward depth or adding to the defense, I think we have to do both. Dalpe is injured. We have to do both. I mean, we don't have the forward depth to make it through an entire run right now. And we sure as hell don't have the defensive depth. Simon, I get what you're saying. I think I understand what you're saying. Who would we face? Who if the season ended today? Who would we play? Because it changes from day to day. I think yesterday it was Tampa. Who would we play today? I think it's the Wings. Yeah, because the Capitals would play Tampa. If the season ended today, we would play the Wings. Not interested. I'm not interested whatsoever. I don't want anything to do with Ottawa or Detroit in the first round. Let somebody else beat the crap out of them, and let the Leafs deal with those up and coming teams. Give me Tampa or Boston. Something I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable with them, right? Right? You know, Senators, I really want nothing to do with. You know, and some of that's simply because we're so used to playing Boston and Tampa, we kind of know what to expect. We kind of know what to expect with Ottawa, which is nobody would have any body parts left by the end of the freaking first round. But the Wings, nah. Michael says, I don't care if y'all didn't like Adam Boquist. Why do we waive a D-man? To make room, make cap space room. Case says no dead wings, right? Yeah, Boquist was just never gonna. They just, for whatever reason, they were not interested in keeping him in, and I think I can understand why. They need to create space for a viable veteran second pair dude, and I think Bournefoot coming up and playing well enough, but you could option him to the AHL. I think the plan with Boquist was stash him in the AHL, but if somebody took him, oh well. You know what I mean? But definitely to clear space. Well, for some, you know, for what guy, that I don't have the answer to. Earlier in the year, I was looking at Connor Murphy, but I kind of cooled on him a little bit. But I mean, we had to have some kind of extra space. We have no space and no depth. Nirmax says Boquist can't move a guy in the slot. Who's saying what? But Chopper. Hold on a second. Check Justin Bruzeau. Apparently the Bruins could chop him if they see. Yeah, I heard that on I was watching Paul. Hold on a second. There we go, Bruzeau. And they were mentioning that let's see. Well, he's a right winger, right? I mean, not politically. Boy, he's young. And they're saying, God, 6'6", 227? 6'6", 227. Jeez. That's a big dude. He's undrafted. So he must just have a he must just be getting minimum wage, right? Where's his contract? I would assume that his contract is just minimum wage. Let's see. I don't want to have to pay for it. I just want to know. Come on, elite prospects. There we go. Yeah, $7.75. Jeez. That's really minimum wage. Yeah. Boy, yeah, Michael said neither can Bornfoot. No, I know. That's why he's in the AHL. We already have a turnover machine named Ekblad. Rizzo, Greer, Donato. Yeah. I mean, I think it's obvious where they're, what they're kind of looking at, where, what to improve. You have to think about the dynamic of that fourth line last year. Taking Nosek out of it and all of that. Stenley with Lomberg and Cousins most of the time. I mean, just the talent on that fourth line seriously outweighs what we have now. All due respect to the guys we have now. And it played a role. Even though I know we put Okposo and Lorenzen later on in the year, it did play a role in why we won. You could move Stenlin. That's the other thing with Stenlin, right? Somebody got hurt, we move him up. He played 3C for a little while. I remember, I think, when Barkov had his annual injury, we move everybody up. We move Stenlin up. Can't really do that with Nosek. Nearmax says the free agent stock for defensemen is awful. I think they have to re-sign Ekblad. And I've read agreeing opinions about that. I've read articles that think Ekblad's the best free agent on the market defensively. I didn't say it. I'm just saying that that's what I've read people say. Sam Skevich is back. Outstanding. Fly Guy says if Ekblad will take any contract, they throw at him, give him $4 million for a 3-year contract to play in the bottom pair. That's close to what I got to in the podcast earlier today. I was thinking 4 years at $2 million. I was thinking 4 years at $2 million. 4 million, 3 years. We could do that too. The cap going up. For those of you who are members, I've got a video coming out today about how the Panthers are really positioned with the cap going up. Boy, are we next year we're going to be in good shape. The following year, we are going to have so much money to spend and not need to spend it on the top six at all if we re-sign Bennett and Sam Skevich. We are going to be locked in the year after. Michael says Stenley looked good because Lomberg and Cousins are just heavy. When Lorenz and Okposo came in, the talent level went up and the goals even out between Stenley and Lorenz. Sure, but it just gives you more flexibility. You need it during the playoffs. We got spoiled last year. Let's not forget that part, ladies and gentlemen. We got, hey, thank you, Hamburger Hut. Thank you, John. Cheeseburger Hut. That's good. That's good. Let's not forget, for the most part last year in the playoffs, we went through the entire thing healthy. I don't think we lost any games to the blue line at all from anybody as far as I remember. And I don't think we lost much in the way of the top 9. I know Bennett started out missing a couple of games, but we were unusually healthy for a playoff run last year. So, the bench that we had was such a luxury that we were like, should Okposo be in or Cousins be in and Lawrence, as opposed to begging for a guy to come in. I mean, remember the year before we had Denisenko coming in for Kachuk. Okay, we had Denisenko coming in for Chuck. Yeah, we lost Bennett for a little while, but other than that, I mean, even Ekblad, I'm pretty sure the blue line we were healthy, right? It was just Bennett. But that's the situation we're in again now. Is the first year, okay? If Kachuk gets hurt, or Barkov gets hurt, or somebody gets hurt, even for 3 or 4 games, right now, you're talking about having to go, you're talking about really having to blow lines up to make it work. So we got really spoiled. Yeah, Giovanni Smith. Yeah, and Denisenko. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Jameson. That's exactly my point, is that even if we were completely all in agreement that the 12 guys we had right now were perfectly good to go, we still need like 2 more guys off the bench. Especially with, guys have been, we've been through 2 long runs, so who knows how everybody's body is going to hold up. Chopper says, imagine Bob retires at the end of his contract and becomes our assistant goalie coach. That would not surprise me even a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me at all, something like that. Michael says, I'm not too worried. I think the mentality will carry us to another cup. Everyone else is going to be super nervous, and these guys will just keep playing the same. I agree to the extent of the cup finals. I do look at the team we have now and feel like pretty confident. This team should be good enough to win the conference. I know Washington is good. I know there's some other good teams, but in the end, I kind of agree with you about the mentality. Finals is a different story. There's some good teams out there in the West. Oh, Michael, you think he's going to go for the wins record? He's a bunch of years away, right? I think he's years away. Most wins by an NHL goalie. He hasn't even passed Luongo yet. Let's see. Roder. Oh, just give me the list. Roder, Fleury, Waugh, Luongo, Belfour, Lundqvist. Wait a minute. This has got to be an old list. That can't be right. This can't be. This has got to be an old list. How old? Where's this? Got to be an old list. Is Bubba 14? How old is this list? So he's at 700, right? That's what he just had, is 700. So I guess it's not that old of a list. He's way down the list. If this list is accurate, I thought he was higher up. No, that was Maurice. That was Maurice with coaching wins. That's what it was. Maurice with coaching win. I mean, Bobrovsky's behind Chris Osgood. Bobrovsky's behind Chris Osgood. Michael, you say 11? My list says 14. The list I got here, which is, let me see if I can get a better list here. That's Wikipedia. Here's NHL records. This will be more accurate. Yeah, 11. Okay, so that list was a little bit old. So you've got Roder, Fleury, Waugh, Luongo, Belfour, Lundqvist, Cujo, Sawchuk, Plant, Esposito, and then Bubba. I mean, oh my God, come on, bro. Bobrovsky's 500 wins away. He's 530 wins away. I mean, even at 40, that's another 10 years. I don't know about that one, man. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Well, we got Panthers have 3 guys in the top 10 when Bobrovsky's done, or 2. No, Belfour's 5. Now Fleury, I mean, I don't even think Fleury can get to him. Even if I mean, yeah, Bob's not. I don't think so. Michael says if he plays as many games as Luongo, he'll be number 1. Where's Luongo? Luongo's 4. Oh, I'm looking at games played. I'm sorry. That's my bad. I'm looking at games played. In wins, Jaws, he's at 418, and Roder's at 691. But Bob has, I see what you're saying. I see your point now. He's played a lot fewer games than a lot of the guys below him. Okay. So if he gets, what's that? He's 200 and about 273 behind. So if he won 35 games a year, it's about 7 more seasons. Oh, I can't do it in 4 more years. He's not going to get 270 wins in 4 years. Michael, come on now. He's not going to get I don't care how high the salary cap goes up. He's not going to get 270 wins in the next 4 years. Okay. If he does, we better get 4 more cups. That's all I got to say. That's all I can say. All right, so Mendel says, how much of a pay cut do I think Bob would or should take if we decide to keep him as a backup? I guess it depends on what you pay Spencer Knight, right? If you give Spencer Knight 6 and you give Bob 4, that's reasonable. But Knight's going to be Knight is still RFA, but he's going to want to get. I wonder if Knight is going to want a bridge deal, like a couple of years to prove what he can do as the starter, or if he's going to cash in his chips and take like 8 times 6 or 8 times 7 or something. I don't think he's earned it yet either, Michael, but he's going to be an RFA and somebody will give it to him because of the cap going up. Somebody would definitely offer sheet him to 6. If he continues to play the way he does this year and next year, somebody would definitely, remember, he's got all the next year too. If he continues to play as well he has now, somebody would offer sheet him at 6, no problem, I think. I mean, that's why he got 4.5, is they were worried somebody was going to offer sheet him. I think at this point, it's obvious that we are as invested in keeping Spencer Knight as we possibly can. I think that Zito wants a clean transition between, Bobrovsky and Knight. So, yeah, maybe give him, if you take Bob's 10 and you just split it between the two, even if you just did 5 and 5. All right, let's see. Silva says, hey, Dawes, want you to know that we just traded the top 9, Maurice and Samoskevich to Pittsburgh for Jari and a 4th-round pick in 27. Thoughts on this move from Zito? Did they throw in a Chari? Did they throw in a Chari? If so, I'm good. Yeah, Michael, that's literally the subject of today's members podcast, Michael. is almost exactly that point. Jameson says, absolutely, a team would offer him 6 over a 4-time. Yeah, if we don't extend him, sure. Somebody in the division too. They would gladly, because that would completely weaken us, right? Thanks, Silva. Right? Hell, Montreal would do it. Does Montreal have their clear-cut future number 1? Montreal would do it just for being pissed off for us sticking them with Montembeau all these years. If someone take Knight, we need Stolar's back. Believe me, the teams in the division would, if we win again, even if we just win the conference again, the teams in the division will start to collude. They will. They'll start offering our guys all sorts of money. Simon, the answer to the all-time favorite is Ed Jovanovski. I wish he would have played his full career with us. Kind of like Kulikov. I wish he would have played. That might switch to Kulikov. I've always said Jovo. I have always said Jovanovski, but Kulikov's starting to grow on me a little bit more too. But Jovo, it's a shame, man. We've had some good players Jovo, Cooley, Luongo. Why we get rid of everybody? Tippett. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, I know, man. How many goalies did we supply to the division? Stolarz, Monty, Levi, Lyon, Johansson. I know. I get it. It's true. It's absolute truth, man. So no, we had to stop. Believe me, Montreal would love to be like, wait, let me get this straight. For $6 million, we could screw the Panthers and we get a goalie of the future. Yeah. Yeah, goalie factory. Yeah, the double Russian net, right? Yep. What do we got? 1 o'clock. All right, everybody. I got to roll. I got to do the eBay pack and ship. And the things are going good with the sponsor. I finished the ad, so that should be coming up soon. And I'll make a community post. I had a really good meeting with the Humane Society yesterday. They're going to help me with a lot of things. I might actually be working with them, helping some of the animals. So yesterday was a very, very, very good day all the way around. So thank you, Michael. Thank you, everybody, for all the super chats. Appreciate all the support. Is it 8 o'clock? Thank you, Jameson, because I would have said 7. Appreciate that. Thank you. Keep me on my toes. That gives me an extra hour to take a little nappy time before the game. All right. Appreciate all the support. Members podcast will be up soon, and I will see you all tonight.